Hey, all right, welcome back. You watching Liquid Lunch on BizTV. Lots going on around the country, lots going around the world, lots going on right here in Staten Island, New York, where it's the center of the reopen universe. Small businesses fed up, not going to take it anymore. Right here at Mac's Pub, they're defying the governor and the mayor's edicts. They're opening anyway. They're under complete attack, and I am broadcasting from here to wrap some First Amendment around us. And I dare you, Cuomo and de Blasio, to come down here and shut down the free press. Try that one. Joe Biden may try that because he has captured what they say the wish of many Americans to get back to civility. I don't think we need to get back to civility. Barack Obama spent a year going around the world on an apology tour, bowing down to dictators and sheiks all around the place and apologizing for American greatness, which makes me sick, okay? Someone else who shares some of my thoughts on American greatness joins me right now. Rabbi Dr. Ari Lamb joins us. He's the chief executive of B'nai Zion. He's the founder of the Joshua Project and host of the Good Faith Effort podcast. Rabbi Doctor, what do I call you? Rabbi Doctor? Rabbi Doctor? You got so many titles.
Just fine. I'm very proud to be a rabbi.
All right, so we're just going to go with rabbi because I got a lot of doctors. Some of them are fake doctors with the PhDs. Some of them are medical doctors. I don't want to get people confused. You're a man of faith, and I'm going to go with rabbi. We don't have any other rabbis on the show.
Not very much use in a hospital, so that's okay.
Very good. So, you think Joe Biden taking our country back on an apology tour and trying to restore civility is a very bad idea. Why? Tell me why.
Look, we all see the terrible breakdown we're suffering as a society, Americans unable to have important conversations. And we all know, in Lincoln's words, that, a house divided against itself cannot stand. But you have a lot of these extremely prominent voices in American public life who keep telling us that the problem is that we're not civil to each other. If only we were a little more polite to each other, we'd be in much better shape. And I think this is dead wrong, not because I favor dunking on people on Twitter. That's gross. But if you believe that politics isn't just some fun pastime, but actually the crucial way that we figure out as a society how to live well, then you can easily see that civility is just the last thing we need right now. Because whether you look at the great debates of ancient Jewish tradition, which was deeply influential on the earliest democratic thinkers and on the founding fathers, or whether you look at the insanely hard-hitting debates in the early days of the American experiment, Adams versus Jefferson, you'll see that people aren't debating politely in hushed tones. They're screaming bloody murder at each other. And the reason is because these earlier figures all knew that nothing, not even feelings, should be spared in the search for virtue.
Okay, I'll tell you, you may not notice, but here in Staten Island, aside from hosting a television show, I'm kind of like a community activist. I like to kind of help my community speak up when things are going wrong. And I teamed up recently with two good buddies of mine, Mark Fonte and Lou Gelomino, who are two brave lawyers. They're criminal defense lawyers, but they decided to represent any restaurant owner for free who's getting fines and violations. And, these are real patriots. They're Americans. And, these guys I've been friends with for 25 years. But there are times when we're trying to figure out strategy on how to do PR or what the next move is to keep our movement going. And we literally get into arguments. And we wind up at the end saying, well, I'm no smarter than him. He's no smarter than me. And the kind of heightened discussion actually brings you to the best end sometimes. So just walking around and telling everybody what they want to hear leaves everybody in a lurch when all is said and done because you don't get anything material done, Rabbi.
Absolutely. And the problem in America is not that we're impolite. It's not that at all. In fact, as you said, that's how we truly come to the truth. It's that we're increasingly losing faith in our deepest, truest values as Americans. We no longer believe that ours is an exceptional nation dedicated to fulfilling, our God-given mission to promote human liberty and dignity worldwide. We should be focusing on educating about our foundational political document, like the Constitution, or our foundational moral documents, like the Hebrew Bible, like the Bible. Focusing on civility instead is like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. That's not our problem as Americans. Our problem is that we're losing touch with our values.
I think you're so right, man. And one of the things that I talk about on my show, obviously, I'm a Catholic. I'm not Jewish, but I have great respect for your religion and faith. And I know, all you people in your religion feel the same about Christianity because it has some of the similar roots. But America was founded by people mostly who were coming here for religious freedom, whatever the religious was, whether it was Baptist or, you know, a Christian, or people were coming here for the freedom to assemble and freedom of religion. That's what really came from. And in our money, which these founding fathers, who are known to be, you know, a band of rivals, basically, they wrote, "In God we trust," on the money. So they showed that our #1 currency, which makes us great, has the idea of faith stamped on it for our whole history. And I always say this, Rabbi, and you maybe want to put it into some rabbinical terms that are much smarter than me, but I always say, if you're a great American, you care about 3 things. #1 is faith. If you have faith, you know you're going to be on the right path at all times, because everything is in your leader's hand, in the hands of your leader. And you need family. And what the progressives that we're fighting, what they want is, they want faith out of our religion, out of our life. They want us all to be bland. They want us all to be one faithless society. And these Marxists that have now come into the fold, they want to ruin the nuclear family. So they want to take away faith and family. And I always say, if you got faith and you got family, if they try to take away your freedom, you got all the tools you need to fight for the third one. So faith, family, and freedom, to me, are what America is all about. And I believe in your community, it's probably the same thing.
You know, I think we actually have 2 sides, really, in American life today. It's not Democrats, Republicans. It's not the coast versus the heartland. You have 2 sides. One believes that goodness comes from belonging, from folks honoring the unique stories in their past, from tradition. This is the worldview you can see at play in every church and synagogue in the U.S. today. The other worldview wants to construct the whole world on the basis of sameness, of universalism, cosmopolitanism, a cultural one-size-fits-all. And this worldview is the one that you can glimpse in almost every newsroom and TV and movie studio in the U.S. today, this one accepted. And this is increasingly the crucial divide in American politics. And I think today we actually have an opportunity, an unprecedented opportunity, to take our politics along an exciting, unexplored path. So for instance, you know, today, the coalition of tradition, as you might call it, you know, the people who are standing up for the essential goods of faith, tradition, and community, what George Washington called the indispensable supports of our republic, religion. It's a much broader coalition than it's ever been in all of American history, and maybe all of human history. It's not just one religious group. It's Orthodox Jews like myself, it's Catholics, it's evangelical Christians, it's Muslims, it's traditional faith communities that in the past you might have assumed would never get along, who are suddenly realizing that if we actually band together, clearly recognizing our differences, but appreciating our shared values as people of tradition and as Americans, we can build back an American society for our children that's not just great again, but good again.
No doubt about it. Rabbi, we got to leave it there. You know, there's a recent study that 70% of Americans identified themselves as people of faith, who believe in faith, all different religions. So we're almost at the point where the tail is wagging the dog, where these people who want sameness and no religion and no family have a stronger voice than all of us. And I think we got to bring it together, raise our voices, and civility. This is no time for civility. This is time for peaceful public discourse and fighting for what made America great. And you were great, Rabbi. Thank you very much. We got to have you back, my friend. We have our own rabbi now right here on Liquid Lunch.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. That is Rabbi Ari Lam, and he's a great one. We got to have him back. I love all perspectives on this show, and I know you do too. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back right after this. We'll talk about all the stuff going on with this Georgia runoff and more right after this.